What started as a spark of activism among Kenya's youth has ignited into a full-blown political movement. The face of this new wave, Boniface Mwangi, a Kenyan human rights activist, now aims for the highest office in the land. Mwangi announced on Wednesday that he would run for president in 2027. Joining us to discuss more on this is a political analyst, Tele Nzomo. Tele, thank you for your time with us on the news. Now, it's one thing to have political fans, fans for your activism movement on the streets, but it's another thing to translate that support into the political landscape, especially looking at the Kenya political landscape of 2025. So do you think that Boniface's attempt or bid to run for presidency in 2027 will be a success?
First of all, thank you for having me. Boniface Mwangi is essentially representing a new breed of politicians in Kenya. He's trying to work as almost as a political outsider, joining our former Chief Justice David Maraga, who has also announced that he will be contesting the presidency. And they want to, they want to play politics differently from how we've seen. They want to try and be, a non-tribal, non-ethnic way of mobilizing our people and mobilizing voters. It's a new way of doing. They're trying to bring this new way of doing politics. I highly doubt that he'll be successful. I think that in this country we're still very, very tribal, but I think it could start possibly a new wave and a new way of thinking, especially with this new generation of voters who are looking at politics very, very differently from how we've seen in the last 60 years of Kenyan independence. But for now, I think it's just something that is beginning. But whether he'll be successful, I highly doubt it in the coming election.
So in your view, what are the key factors that sway voters during Kenyan elections? Are issues like activism, youth movement, or street mobilization significant when it comes to political elections?
Right now in Kenya, our number one thing, unfortunately, is that Kenya is still very ethnic, Kenya is still very tribal. And ethnicity is still the driving factor in how our politics and how how our voters are being mobilized. And if you look at the two main political formations, the ruling formation, which is President William Ruto, who has now been joined by Raila Odinga, and you look at the opposition that has the former Deputy President Rigathi, the former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, and others, you see two areas that are very much tribal. But the second thing that will also be a huge factor is the William Ruto factor. I do believe that a lot of people, or the next election will be a referendum on William Ruto. I think a lot of people might come out to vote against William Ruto and probably vote for the person who has the best chance of trying to beat him. And I think those are some of the things that might derail the likes of Boniface Mwangi and as I said, Maraga, and also Kiam Tata, who's also running, from actually having a very huge or being successful in the next election.
Thank you, Tele, for your time.